So, you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of Garfield. Listen, it started ironically, okay? It was a meme. The only difference between my views of Garfield just a couple of short years ago and my current views of Garfield are that now I'm genuinely a fan. So naturally, as a Garfield fan, I was a little worried when the new CGI Garfield film starring Chris Pratt as the titular orange cat was announced. What were they gonna do to my boy? Would he go the way of all the other Garfield characters that are seemingly not a part of this movie? Normal, Arlene, Squeak, Lyman? They've all been replaced by new characters like Buff Daddy Garfield and
Oh, that cat's a goner.
Snoop Cat? Why did they have to make original characters? Why couldn't they have just used the characters that already existed? Where the f is Normal? You know what? I refuse to watch this shit. I ended up watching it. I think my time would be better spent watching a Garfield movie that does have Normal in it. I mean, sure, he's only in it for a minute, and he doesn't even really look like Normal, but at least he's there. So, to get my Normal fix and watch a Garfield movie that I don't have to pay to see, I did pay to see it though. Let's watch my vintage DVD copy of Garfield, the movie. Not to be confused with the Garfield movie.
What's on the shelf? 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 What's on the shelf?
In the same vein as Spider-Man Homecoming, this film makes the decision to gloss over Garfield's backstory and opens with a trip through John Arbuckle's home as we see a myriad of framed photos of Garfield himself. We get to see Garfield as a kitten in this opening sequence, which predates this kitten Garfield by a whole 20 years. After this actually pretty short intro, we enter John's bedroom and see that Garfield has his own whole-ass bed, complete with a smaller version of John's bedding, a bedside table, and an alarm clock. And here I was, thinking that millennial pet owners were bougie.
I hate Mondays.
And that was it. The first line of Garfield the movie was, "I hate Mondays." Also, it is shown here that Garfield sleeps with a very accurate interpretation of his favorite toy, Pookie. I don't know why people give this movie shit. We're only 2 minutes in, and it's super accurate to the source material so far.
It'll work. See, I'm getting my exercise.
And now it's accurate to real life, too. I mean, my cats love to knock shit down in spite of me.
Okay, I think you're clean enough now. Got your towel right here.
Garfield! This accuracy is crazy. My cats are dicks, too. They've never tried to boil me alive, but they do puke on the floor a lot. So after Garfield tricks John into eating cat food, he starts his day off with a little stroll around the block.
Garfield, look, the milk truck.
Oh, atta boy, Normal.
Normal. My baby Normal.
I can feel. Oh, whoa!
Mission accomplished, Normal.
Well, that's it. Garfield f***ing killed him.
Got milk?
Apparently, Garfield loves to kill because then he tries to kill John again.
There's my ball.
You know what I just realized? They didn't give Garfield an asshole. Look! Nothing! Nothing at all. Is that why he's so fat? Because he physically can't shit? Because he has no asshole? Even if that's not why, it's still my headcanon. Then Garfield drops this bomb.
I know you don't hear me, but can't you just listen?
In this movie, it's canon that John can't hear Garfield, just like in the comics. The only difference is, we don't see Garfield's mouth move in the comics. What is John hearing when Garfield talks? I mean, what is he seeing when Garfield talks? Is it just like meow 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 meow? Even if that's not the case, wouldn't it be a little bit concerning if your cat moved like this? Like if your cat could dance like that, if your cat could shake its ass, if your cat could throw it back like that, wouldn't you just be a little weirded out? If your cat was just throwing it back in your living room? You know, whatever. So Garfield sits down in the recliner and sees Sandy Ryerson and his cat on TV, prompting him to say,
That cat's puss is everywhere. TV, newspapers, t-shirts. Who would want that kind of exposure?
How is this the second movie I've watched on this channel where a talking cat thinks they're Deadpool? Grumpy Cat is basically Deadpool in this movie. I mean, Garfield and Grumpy Cat are pretty much the same character, let's be honest.
Deck the halls, deck me in the face.
Except Garfield just loves lasagna way more. Then we zoom into the TV, transitioning us into a television studio with Sandy, who we quickly learn is deathly allergic to cats and, quite frankly, hates cats. He hates cats almost as much as he hates that Frankie Valli doesn't know who the hell Josh Groban even is. I just realized that maybe very few people will get that joke. That joke was meant for a very specific niche group of people. So yeah, Sandy hates cats. He storms into his office to find himself in a wig reading the news on his TV. It's apparently his twin brother, who he is seemingly extremely jealous of. That's so funny and original. Don't forget funny. Sandy hates his brother almost as much as Garfield hates Mondays. Almost as much as Bill Murray hates him. Back at John's house, he's returning from a second shopping trip to find that Garfield has eaten all of his lasagna. This is a funny scene and all. But are we not going to question the fact that John came home with groceries, said to Garfield, "Do not eat this lasagna," and then the next time we see him, he's coming in with more groceries, solely to set up this joke? He would have had to go on a second shopping trip just for this joke. I mean, Garfield ate 4 lasagnas. That's not something that would just happen from John taking a trip back out to the car to get the rest of the groceries. It would take Garfield like 30 minutes maybe to eat 4 lasagnas, and that's being generous. So, fittingly, John takes Garfield to the vet after that, which, you know, rightfully so. Anyone would do that if their cat ate 4 whole-ass lasagnas. I mean, the cat should be dead, honestly, but the vet just says,
"There's nothing wrong with Garfield. He's just a happy, fat, lazy cat."
No need for a second opinion.
and apparently a feline medical anomaly. Again, should be dead. Anyway, so John's trying to the vet named Liz. Plain and simple. That's why he takes Garfield to the goddamn vet so much. He doesn't care that his cat's eating toxic red sauce. He's just trying to get in the veterinarian's pants. Not sure she wants it though, as she gives him a dog and a sob story instead.
Oh, he's a frisky little fella, isn't he?
His name's Odie, and he's not gonna make it if he has to live his life in a cage.
So yeah, he takes Odie home, and Garfield is super pissed about it.
You had me a chick magnet, and now you got a chick magnet.
No asshole there. You see an asshole? I don't see an asshole.
Garfield, Jab brought our dog home.
Hey, Normal's back from the dead. And you know, this may sound strange, but does this cat kind of look like the annoying train kid from the Polar Express if he was turned into a cat? I don't know what it is, but I'm getting more of those vibes than Normal vibes. I mean, this is kind of just some cat they're calling Normal. I mean, this motherfucker acts nothing like Mermal. Normal. This motherfucker acts nothing like normal. Garfield feels like he's being replaced by Odie. So naturally, he listens to the Black Eyed Peas.
Excuse me, I think you may have forgotten something. I saw this and I thought, pretty sure it was yours.
This brings me back to my favorite review of this movie on Google. He is mean to the dog, and I hate him. Yes, Garfield is being sort of a dick. I hope nothing happens later in this movie that he needs Odie's help with, because he's really burning that bridge right now. Then Liz comes over to pick John and Odie up for their doggy date.
Look at the goony look on his face.
20 years later, that means something a little bit different, Garfield. I don't know if you should say that, Garfield. I mean, you're talking about gooning in a family movie. I don't think that's okay, Garfield. I don't think it's okay. So Garfield hitches a ride and goes to spy on John's date.
Maybe I'll get a CAT scan. A CAT scan!
John and Liz's date, for some reason, is at a dog show. Don't get it twisted. Odie's not in the dog show. No. They just took Odie to the dog show to watch. Okay, wait. I get it now. Liz is a judge at the dog show. Okay. It's starting to make sense. Speaking of things making sense, the thing that happens next makes the most sense of anything ever, as all the dogs at the dog show see Garfield, a cat, and try to murder him, causing chaos all throughout the dog show. This chaos eventually culminates into Garfield making an escape into this lady's hoo-ha, causing the lady to go full Mississippi Squirrel Revival, jumping to her feet and saying,
Lord have mercy on me!
Meanwhile, Odie's wowing the crowd in the other dog's absence by just hopping, and everyone is acting like it's the most impressive shit they've ever seen. Like, for real? I'm sorry to bring this up again, but that's still not as impressive as a house cat eating 4 whole-ass lasagnas and living to tell the tale of 2 kitties. I'm sorry. With none of the other contestants left, Odie wins the dog show by default, and Sandy has this to say.
You know, this is exactly the kind of dog that could have a future in television.
Then John says this.
Odie's just my pet, and that's all I really want him to be.
Then Sandy says.
You're kidding.
Then John says.
No.
And Sandy says.
Kill yourself!
They all head home, where Garfield, in a fit of jealous rage, slaps a ball, causing shit around the living area of John's house to just start toppling like dominoes. And he just sits there, in true cat form, and watches everything fall over. I know I say this a lot in my videos, but that's accurate. My cats do that shit.
Oh, come on, John, John. Used to have John to myself, day or night, there was no one else.
Ooh, oh shit.
But now I'm out in the cold night.
Ooh, damn, we got Garfy Joel over here.
I'm in a new dog state of mind.
This completely random musical number keeps going on into the next verse. And I'm being completely honest when I tell you, I have absolutely no recollection of this part of the movie. Like, at all. Everything else in this movie I have at least a vague memory of. But for some reason, this New York State of Mind parody sung by Garfield is the only thing about this movie that I don't remember. Anyway, Odie can tell that Garfield is all mopey because, you know, he heard him singing this whole song outside the bedroom window. So he goes outside to lay with Garfield. Aww.
Odie, you came out here to be with me. I'm touched. And you must be touched in the head. You got the dog, bring the cat.
What a dickhead. I mean, Jesus, I'm starting to question my alliance to Garfield. I'm sorry, great round orangey one. Please forget that you heard that.
I shall smite you on the ground which you stand.
Predictably so, Odie runs away, and when the sun rises, John is understandably confused.
Odie, where are you, boy?
So he goes out searching, but our boy Sandy Ryerson sees the found dog posters because some random old lady found him and hatches a devious plan to steal Odie and make him a part of his act.
I can live again now.
This happens at seemingly lightning speed. It appears that just mere minutes after being dognapped by Sandy, Odie is already on TV. So this either did happen within the span of 10 minutes, or the pacing of this movie is just god-awful.
Old Happy Chapman and Odie Schnitzel are going to be climbing aboard that New Amsterdam Limited at 3 p.m. bound to New York City, where we have the opportunity to be regular contributors on Good Day New York.
Schnitzel?
Sandy is going to take Odie to New York so they can have their big break. But in order to do this, apparently Odie has to wear this like evil shock collar, which the henchman even thinks is f***ed up.
Happy, you promised you'd never use that. I mean, that collar is inhumane.
Garfield decides that he himself shall be the one to go save Odie.
It's where the grapes of wrath are stored.
But by doing this, he's putting John in even more distress because now both of his animals are gone. This poor motherfucker. Some creepy mice, rat things. I don't know. Are they rats? Are they mice? Who cares? And a mouse thing. I'm going to be honest with you, I really could not tell if it was a rat, a mouse, or a gerbil or what. I just know it was a thing. Some creepy rodents try to eat Garfield.
Body fat's good with us.
We also find out that they're the reason Red Lobster went bankrupt.
Who wants to go to the Red Lobster Alley?
He eventually makes it to the building that Odie is in, a la Toy Story 2, with the help of Lewis. This is Lewis. So Garfield finds Odie, but he quickly gets swiped up by Sandy and sees Odie get shocked into doing this sweet-ass flip.
Nobody gets to mistreat my dog like that except me.
Garfield then goes full X Games mode on this stair rail. He falls out a window and into a lasagna truck.
Once again, my life has been saved by the miracle of lasagna.
Then, right when Sandy and Odie are in full view of our hero, animal control nets him. That's right. Net is a verb now. Meanwhile, Liz and John manage to track down the old lady who found Odie before Sandy stole him. The lady informs them that everyone's favorite predatory pot salesman, Sandy Ryerson, picked Odie up, leaving John baffled.
Happy Chapman took Odie? Think he's got Garfield too?
I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Unbeknownst to John, Garfield's actually at the pound.
Coming for to carry me.
Could you please be quiet?
And apparently, so is Sandy Ryerson's old cat, who he kicked to the curb for Odie. He's also very posh and British for some f***ing reason.
It's Sir Roland.
Sir Roland.
I was trained in the classical theatre, you know. But now...
Is that my cat? What the hell, Dolly? You never told me you were in Garfield the movie? Anyway, a kid comes into the pound to adopt a cat, and I know it may be a little late to mention this, but do you see the issue here? Do you? The issue is that Garfield looks like that, and all the other cats look like normal f***ing cats. They don't have f***ing watermelon heads and cartoonishly large eyes. Honestly, if you had to choose from this lineup of cats, which one would you choose? The cute gray one? Oh, or maybe the tuxedo cat. He's cute. Or are you gonna choose the morbidly obese, hideously deformed orange cat that eats f***ing human food?
That one.
Really?
She picked me! She picked me! She did! She picked me! She picked me! She picked me!
That one. That one.
Great choice, kid, but let me warn you, that cat's British. British cat causes a prison break and all the animals get out, putting our hero's journey back on track. Which is perfect timing, because Happy Chapman, Sandy, is boarding the train with Odie.
What will you be having today? Salmon, steak, or lasagna?
Steak. I hate lasagna.
They really wanted to hammer it into our brains that he's the bad guy by having him say that line. The complete opposite of Garfield's catchphrase. So John and Liz get into the train station at the same time as Garfield, and they're all three determined to stop the train.
My dog and my cat are on that train.
Garfield's way of helping is going into the control room and just hitting buttons and shit. And it's a f***ing miracle he doesn't kill anyone, because he's just going crazy with the track switches.
Stop! 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 Stop!
All stop.
And it works. Garfield stops the train and rescues his new friend Odie. But Sandy ain't having that shit, and he runs after him.
No dumb, dirty animal is ever gonna get the better of me.
Hey, I used to work with a guy like this. And then, just when it seems like all hope is lost, the animals from the shelter show up to maul Sandy Ryerson.
All right,
I really wish that happened to the guy that I worked with. Only more bloody. F*** you, Billy. They shock the shit out of him, making him do a sick flip and kill him. Nice job, team. Well done, guys.
Odie!
Be happy.
Damn it, he's not dead. Okay. Maybe now he is. Garfield returns home a hero, and Normal respects him now. John and Liz kiss, and after this goldfish product placement, they all live happily ever after, ending the film with a typical animated film musical number finale. So, not including the credits, this film is only 70 minutes long. That's pretty damn short. But is it clever? Like People said? Oh, like People magazine. I thought it just meant that People said that. Just People said it. I don't know. There's something kind of charming about this movie, but only in the sense that it marks a very specific period of time and a very specific type of movie that I'm nostalgic for. Mid-2000s talking animal movies. They're never really that good, but you know, they were making them. So no, I don't think Garfield the movie was that clever. But you know what it was probably more clever than? The Garfield movie. Now, by no means was the 2024 Garfield movie a bad movie, but my main gripe with this movie comes down to the absence of a key character in the Garfield universe, Nermal. You know how I said at the beginning of this video that it seemed like most of the pre-established Garfield cast had been axed from this 2024 film in favor of new characters? Well, sadly, I was correct. Characters like Liz and Nermal only make short cameos, and by short, I mean very short. Yes, despite the official film's Instagram teasing us on April 1st with this image of Nermal, he doesn't make an appearance for the whole film. And no joke, he's only on screen for like 2 seconds at the end, and he doesn't even say anything. It really is a blink and you'll miss it type of cameo, but it's way better than other characters like Arlene fared. That bitch wasn't in this shit at all. But, I mean, who knows? She could have been in it. I may have just blinked at the wrong time and missed it. So, which one is the superior Garfield film? I don't know, man. Just f***ing watch them both and decide for yourself.
Used to have John to myself, day or night, there was no one else. From dawn to dusk, my meals would come. I'd lounge about in my home, but now I'm out in the cold of night, all alone till the dawn's first light. I'm in a new dog state of mind.